Hello, everybody. The title. Wait, am I? Yeah, am I here? Hello, everybody. The title of the stream may be, maybe a little weird, but it's a funny story actually. Apparently I've been gone so long from the apartment complex that my neighbor thought I was dead. She called me today, and it's like, oh wow, you sure? Hey, whatever. Are you dead? Like, what was that? It was just an interesting laugh. It was just a nice laugh. Uh, yeah, I know. I'm not the best storyteller, at least verbally or writer voice, I guess. How does it feel to be dead? Don't worry, I'm not dead. I'm not real. Oh well, Hillary's fuck off. You're not real. You're not even alive. Wait, if you're not real, you're not alive. Then where are you? Questions for another day. Excuse me, I'm very tired. Uh, been dealing with something that really makes me tired. You know what? I really wish I could have joined Talk's stream this morning, but I mean, I did. Then I left. I'm in special existence. Haha. Yes, you are, cat dog. Wait, no. Hillary's emails. Oh wait. Sonic. You know what? Share this. Share this stream to hell. You know what? I think I also posted in a gay chat. Gay, 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 gay. Okay. If you want to come in, it's in the happy chat. I'm at 61%. I guess I'll suck. Wait. Oh, okay, let me. There we go. Ugh. But yeah, being dead is really interesting. I'm dead. Can you believe this, guys? But then, hello, Mr. Genius. How you doing?
Well, pretty good. How are you doing, my fellow genius?
Kind of bored.
I hear that. So, how does it feel to be dead? Can you explain that for us?
Well, it's dead. It feels to be dead to where. See, how do I explain this? Oh, hey, Mindy. It actually feels kind of interesting because it's like if you're dead, nobody really expects anything of you, right? You're dead. Nobody, like nobody wants you. It's not that nobody wants you around. It's not that you can't really have anyone around you. Wow, I am fumbling with my words.
That's fine. Just continue. So, nobody expects anything of you.
Yeah. Nobody expects anything of you. Nobody will miss you.
Oh, I don't
Well, I
think
mean,
that's
I'm sure.
true.
I'm sure somebody will miss you. Yeah.
Yeah, people miss the dead all the time.
Yeah. I wonder if it may, this this might be extremely narcissistic of me, but I would be remembered forever. I just gotta do something that will let that happen. Something
Yeah,
good, by the way. Something good, not
yeah.
something evil like killing 20 million Russians.
hmm
I don't know.
Are
The stream
people
is like,
more
oh,
likely to
go
be
ahead.
remembered for doing something good or something bad?
What was that?
Are people more likely to be remembered for doing something good or something bad?
Yep. They say most people. They say most people still alive today, will live remembered by their loved ones or families. Well, because it's the same thing, but by their loved by their families and loved ones. Whereas only a small few might be remembered for their contributions. Like I can guarantee you, this Bill Gates will probably be remembered forever because the amount of impact he's had on the world is staggering.
Hmm.
Now,
And what will he be remembered for?
well, I guess he'd be remembered for popularizing the personal computer. And I know Steve Jobs did the same thing, and people will remember him just as well. Alan Turing will definitely be remembered because he's basically the father of modern computing.
Right?
Uh, no, I didn't. I came back, Bond. I came back from the dead.
Did it take you 3 days?
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
I am God. How did you die? I mean, I don't know how I died, honestly. Maybe a heart attack, maybe, maybe a heart virus like in Dragon Ball Z. I have no idea. All I know is that I'm dead, that I'm talking to you from the inferior plane.
Hmm.
Hi, Satan. Oh, hey, Midnight, what's up? Just having a live stream from hell. Oh, okay. Well, tell everybody not to mind the noise. We're torturing some people around here. I was okay. They can't hear it, but I can. Every time I close my eyes at night. I don't know. I'm being weird. How was your day?
Hot, but good.
Hot is it sexy or hot is it hot?
As in temperature. On weather.com, it said it was going to be 109 here today, but for the hourlies, I only saw it go up to 107. So I'm not sure how much it is right now.
Global warming's a myth. I don't know. That was supposed to be a joke, but whatever. I guess it didn't work. I thought there are people out there who do think global warming's a myth, but whatever. That's
Oh,
them.
I didn't realize you said global warming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm on mobile, so you probably didn't catch that.
Okay. Yeah, the globe warms roughly every 6 months. About, well, once a year anyway.
Uh, let's see. Uh,
Well, what was Tog's stream about this morning? I caught about 40 minutes of it, but that was
I
it.
don't know. I think he was reviewing. He was reviewing the video. He was reviewing the stream that he did yesterday of
Right?
him reviewing the video that JD had of you. Like it was review inception this morning.
Did he
Yeah.
ever actually review what I said?
Like I said, he was in the process of that. Yesterday he had a stream reviewing what you and
Right.
JG talked about, and then this morning he had a stream reviewing that stream. So he was reviewing. So he was reviewing two streams. You know what I mean? It gets confusing.
Yeah, it does. I'm just wondering if he ever actually got around to reviewing what I said, or if he's just reviewing a review of a review.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. You know, how do you deal with hyper religious people who are always up your ass saying, "Oh, God is good, God is great, believe, and He shall be unto you," and you tell them like, dude, I don't believe. Thank you for all you've done for me, but can you knock it up? Like, uh, I can't believe you say something like that. I've been nothing but kind to you, and I've been nothing but kind to you, and you don't believe. Like, fuck
Since
you.
I
I'm not doing anything for you.
since I know the person you're talking about, I wouldn't even challenge them. I just say I would just probably agree with a lot of what they said. Yeah, yeah, God is good. I mean, that's just a truism. And what does it even mean? Are you going to define any of those terms?
Like, I don't know. I don't know if you noticed that. If you noticed this in society, right? If you know, if you have an annoying religious person, you
Hmm.
as an atheist just have to let them talk and say whatever. However, if you had an annoying atheist person, oh, forget about it. You know what I mean? Forget about it. You know, they call you a cringy atheist. They say all those things. But but because religion is a protective class, you can't do anything. You can't say anything against them because they're offended. Just be like, how dare you offend me, my religion? Like, you're fuck. You know you're you're fucking hell. I can't speak.
I'll come up with a competing religion. Say, I believe in the raccoon god. And then
Yeah,
when they
but
ask
then
you,
they want to know. They'll say, "Oh, that's not the true God. Jesus Christ is
well, let
God
them prove that.
reincarnate."
Well, Jesus loved the raccoon god. He said so right there in scripture. And they come up with something that makes no sense. And then when they say it doesn't make any sense, say exactly. Because that's what they do all the time. They read some little verse and you're supposed to somehow magically see something that isn't there. Wonderful.
Hey, Brojo, since your nemesis is it on panel? Why don't you come in?
Oh, Bruce on Blessed Bible Fight Club
No,
had
Will
Jillian.
Kincaid.
Oh,
Brojo
okay.
doesn't
Well,
like Will Kincaid.
I thought he didn't like Jill. Um,
Oh, who does?
but
Who likes you?
well, that's what I was getting to, and so Bruce just like totally smacked him upside the head verbally, like calling him, oh, I can't stand you for long. Uh, you're not. We'll see if you can behave like a decent human being. And I'm like, that's a big ask for Jill.
Yep.
It was funny. Everybody pretty much agreed. All the Christians pretty much hate. Well, not only Christians, but all believers seem to pretty much hate Jill. And Jill likes Lionheart. He thinks he's just the greatest. He's the only one. Apparently, Lionheart was crying because he had blocked basically everybody, and then he complains that nobody wants to go in to stream, or I guess it's StreamYard, and chat with him. And people are like, "Well, if you're going to block everybody, why would anybody want to talk to you?"
Yeah. By the way,
So I,
did you see what Praise posted on his community chat?
I don't ever look.
Well, it is the most retarded fucking thing. Like, I can't screenshot on my phone, so
Mhm.
if you can't go to I mean I can screenshot at you if you let me, but yeah, just go to his community page and it should be, I guess, the first thing he posted. I don't know, just look for an image of a robot. Like, this weird,
Okay.
like, yeah, just see what he says. Because it was the stupidest thing I've ever read. Uh, Let me know when you got it.
I'm playing a game, so I can't tab out and look.
Oh, never mind.
But I don't
Then
ever go to his community tab.
yeah, never
Yeah.
mind. What are you playing? What are you playing?
Thunder.
Oh, nice. War
I said War
Thunder.
Thunder. Yeah. There's a delay then. Yeah, I'm playing helicopters. Yep. Oh, it's so hot. Even with the AC going, it's hot. But yeah, I'm the same way with JG. I mean, why should I? He's always posting titles, wanting people to come on and talk to him. And then when I go on, like he can't disagree with anything I say, but he'll either block or allow me to be blocked in his chat. So why should I go on and talk to him? Screw him.
By the way, did you see the ending of his stream the other day?
I saw you on there for a couple of minutes, and then I
Yeah.
saw Tog. Yeah.
Well, it's just that because he was about to end, and it's like now, would you be a liar? Would you be a liar if we didn't end the stream, or
Oh
just
yeah.
mistaken?
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I don't know. I just came to me. I was like, okay, that's because he did say he did tell Wolfman that he was going to end the stream, and here I am. You know,
Yeah.
we
Oh,
need we need new fake Christians to talk to. Ooh, oof. So Joe isn't a real Christian. Good to know. I forget. You're a form of Christian, right?
yeah, I'm a deist.
Yeah. Well, good enough.
Yep. Yeah, Dan Straight talked to me off air when Todd got done with the stream and asked me, he's like, oh, I forget exactly how he phrased it, but basically thinking I was an atheist and wanted to know why I wasn't Christian. So I had him give me his definition of Christian. I said, well, I matched that perfectly. And then he's like, oh, and then at the end, like he talked a lot, and then I asked him what made him think I was atheist, and then his connection dropped, so I never did get an answer. But yeah, and he asked, why I don't call myself a Christian. I said, well, I'd rather other people to decide that for themselves. And then I gave him examples of people who think that basically they're the only Christian in existence, and that anybody else has got to be wrong. And say, it's a lot easier just if they decide that I am rather than me claiming it to begin with. If you lead a Christ like life, I think that's good enough. You don't have to use words.
Yep. I honestly just wish this motherfucker would come to Earth and just reveal himself already. You know what I mean? Because it would end so much suffering and so much fucking confidence if he would just show up and be like, "Hey, you know what? I exist. You know who was right? No one."
Yeah. I've never been here before. This is my first time. And I hear people talking about me all the time, but no, that wasn't me.
I don't know. I get why people want to believe that that there's a God, there's a all powerful being that created everything because it means it gives it gives us a sense of purpose,
Mm-hmm.
right? A sense of meaning that we are here because this deity, this entity created everything, created our universe and potentially other universes. Although many believe that just our universe is the only one, which is how fucking arrogant can you be? Like,
Right.
well, our universe is the only one. Our galaxy is the only one with life in it. Us, like, it's very egocentric,
Yeah, it
right?
is.
I really like the analogy of the puddle. I don't know. Probably people have been analyzing that for like. Do you think the puddle analogy is very strong? Even though a lot of
Yes.
people.
I think it's wonderful. I've never heard any good argument against it.
I'm sure there's somebody out there who came up with an argument. I'm not can't really think of any right now because I haven't seen any against it. But there's always arguments against arguments, which it's a double-edged sword, right?
Mhm.
Because you can make an argument against anything. The thing is, how well your argument is, whether it's sound or valid. Which being sound and valid
Mhm.
are two different things.
Right.
If God exists, atheism is false. God exists, therefore atheism is false. It's something I saw on Twitter recently,
Oh
and I wanted to
yeah,
shoot
that's
myself.
nonsense. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very stupid argument.
Ugh.
Because really, that's an if-then conditional. If this, then that. Okay, well, first you need to substantiate the first thing. Until then, we can say this doesn't happen, so therefore it can't be the second.
But okay, so if X exists, Y is false. Y is
Mhm.
false, therefore X exists.
Right.
It's the same. It's the same thing. You can literally put anything in there. If
Sure.
Hillary's is gay, I don't know.
Yeah, then midnight is straight. Sure.
Hillary's is gay, therefore midnight is. I don't know, just
There you
crazy.
go.
You can do crazy fucking shit with that form.
Yeah, I just came across Curry's paradox recently, and I've been trying to understand that because to me it doesn't seem like a paradox. It just seems like nonsense.
Well, can you explain that? Because I never heard of that.
They say that mathematically you can just describe it basically like we just talked about. If X, then Y. And so then they give the example in natural language. If this sentence is true, then Germany shares a border with China. Okay, so does Germany actually share a border with China? No. So we know that for a fact.
Yeah, so how is that a paradox?
Yeah, and so, well, their claim is okay, well, what does, if this sentence is true, then? What does that mean? Well, what does true mean? If in the way that they say it, they say, well, it's grammatically accurate. So as long as the grammar is okay, then that means that all the facts contained within it would have to be. And to me, that's just an obvious
Well, no.
misunderstanding.
Well, that's kind of okay. If it's hold on a sec, someone wants to get in. There you go. Hey, Todd, you're
Hey
an
guys.
asshole.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like looking.
Ooh, good comeback.
Hold on. So if a sentence is grammatically correct, that means whatever the
Yeah,
sentence says is true.
Yeah, that the facts contained within it must be true. And I think that's just absurd. That makes no sense.
I mean, I guess. Hold
The
on.
two are
I
not
guess.
causally connected.
Well, I went to the toilet.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Therefore,
That sentence.
there's purple Martians on Venus.
Well, yeah. I guess that is a better example because I went to the toilet is true.
Mhm.
Then again, I
Mhm.
could just say I went to the toilet and not gone to. Language is weird. Like it's fucking.
Somewhat.
Yeah, I like that logic video you posted in the happy chat. That was
Yeah, I
pretty
started
good.
watching it. It seems very interesting. I got a
Thank you.
tautology of poly. I forget the words, but
Yeah,
ontological. It references itself. I think.
right. But they left out that it could be multiple meanings. It can both be autological and heterological at the same time.
Mm.
And it can even have different uses.
Exactly. All right, Todd.
Yeah.
I have risen.
You got a boner finally?
Yay!
I walked into that one.
Yay. You walked into a boner?
Jesus Christ.
I'm proud of you, Midnight. At least you're going after what you want.
Hey. I give, I don't receive. Okay, fuck off. That came out wrong.
You give, not with your wallet. Oh, damn! I hit below the belt there.
Yeah, fuck you, you
That was
fucking
too
dick.
deep. Yeah, that was a dick move. Yeah. You should say neither can you, broke bitch.
Oh yeah, not the
God
yeah.
damn it.
That was a good. That would have been a good response.
Yeah, I did it for you. It's okay.
Eh,
Like everything else. Oh, damn.
Fuck
I
you,
would have
Mr.
joked with
Lizard.
me.
Oh wait, where the fuck is he been recently? Anyway, it's
I
like
think he's
I really
dead.
hope he's
I
working
miss
on that
him.
goddamn video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't lizards hide under a rock during the day?
Or in the water.
I am just throwing lots of shade his way, hoping that he'll get upset and make a fool of himself.
I mean, he already has
Yeah.
multiple times. Oh my God, William is a racist. Let me show you how by claiming he supported this guy, even though there's like no evidence that he did, unless Mr. Toggle here found something we don't know about.
Well, I always get people to define what do you mean by supported? Did he donate money? Did he do a write-in campaign?
It seemed to me, it seemed like there was favors spoken of,
Yeah,
which
but it
it,
wasn't unlimited favor that he showed him. It was a very specific thing that he said was because he said plenty of bad things about. I'm going to call him Sever because I don't really know his name, but
Safir, yeah,
yeah, Sever.
that guy, yeah.
So I mean, so yeah, a person can say one nice thing and say a bunch of mean things. That doesn't mean that they like him. It just means that they've said one nice thing.
Oh, I know
I
the
just,
worship part. I know. I think one of his claims. I think I know that's going to go in the video for sure. Is the I think the overstatement, which I think he's going to have a video for that,
Mhm.
because at some point in time, which I can at least say attest to this, there was an agreement that the between I think William and Blizzard were talking. I can't remember when and where, because it was so long ago. But anyway, there was already established that the whole worship scenario was to be taken as like satirical, not that he's actually worshiping. That he was being satirical with it, and it was missed. And then now, since that seems to be still the context, he might point that out. I don't know. I think he said he was. So I know at least that much is that one thing that that just seems to be like one of the that was just sarcasm that he's not actually saying that he worships the dude. And
Right.
he said it that already, and now everyone's still bringing it up like he didn't say that. That's what he meant. So I know he
So,
might bring up that.
but that would be a dishonest lie if he brought that up because he would be pretending that the meaning has one content when really it has another.
I would not know.
Well, if Will made a statement, it gets really deep into language. Like words are sounds and they're symbols, but what do they actually mean? So if he says, well, like for instance, we could say if red is evil, and evil is anything which doesn't comport to the mind of God, then red is evil. Yeah.
Serb's here.
Don't interrupt the thought.
Sorry.
Hello, Serb.
Not much. Just eating a slice of pizza and making a meme.
Oh, that sounds good. I just had some beef and barley soup.
Ah, yeah. So we're
Did
talking
you see
about-
that video I posted about Logic Serb? About words?
I just
That
got on
are-
the computer.
Okay, well, it was like yesterday, I think, last night, about
Wow.
words that are autological and also heterological.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, because I think that kind of gets into what you were saying the other day about if something contains elements that are true or false, that really has no bearing on if the total is true or false.
Oh,
I was
well,
thinking someone. Sorry. I was just gonna say I was thinking someone should make that their pronouns, heterological and non-logical.
Yeah.
That'd be
Well,
funny.
I like asking that. Someone earlier today said that Jesus came out of God. And so I asked, does that mean
No,
that God is autosexual? Because that's reproductive budding, asexual budding. Plants do that, like ferns.
Yeah, that's a weird one. God fucked himself to, have
Yeah.
a kid. Somehow, some shape, some form. But it gets into the weird variety. Did Jesus fuck his own mother? See, that's a question you'll hear no Christian ask because technically, but you have to ask it because
Yeah.
it has to do with the kind like, did he actually do his own mom? It
Right.
should it even be considered that? Although he called her mother because biologically, I guess, but that's a different thing because then that has to do with form and the form of when he, if in another form where he wasn't the son,
Hmm.
perhaps in the father, that's another weird one because then that goes into like weird avatar thing. Then the father also being remaining, and then so it goes into like splitting cells and shit.
Well, could we
And
say that Mary
yeah,
was a surrogate?
dying hurts, dying. That's killing me. Shit, that's sad but funny. Huh.
Yeah. If we ever got Jesus' DNA, would it include Mary's mitochondrial DNA?
Yeah, I would have to imagine or something.
Yeah.
Well, then there's also the claim that Mary herself was of a virgin birth. If you go into Islam, I believe in Islam, that she herself was like a pure vessel. So she came from like a barren moon or something like that in old age. Like, and then I believe it's if you go down in the, so that's something to also think about. Was she something like that? And what does that mean? Again, for as a line of David, because then you have to. And no one ever argues that Mary didn't exist. I hope. I don't know. Maybe they do. But that's usually taken. Same thing. Another odd thing about it is that no one really says that John the Baptist did not exist, which is odd because he also came from a virgin womb, a barren womb, and no one ever argues against like John the Baptist. And that's the one that's always like I find it fascinating. Like, oh, that's interesting. Like, why no one ever gives a shit about poor John the Baptist? Like, he's a fucking miracle baby. But yeah, people widely accept that. But Jesus Christ, oh no, it's a
You're a
weird
miracle
conundrum.
baby too, Tog.
I am. I should have been aborted. I should have been fucking gutted out of my mom and my throat slit.
Jesus.
Yeah, totally.
Hmm.
That was dark humor.
Mm-hmm. It was.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
agree with
extremely
Hillary
dark.
Clinton. When Hillary Clinton was talking about how she wished that her grandma had been able to like have abortions, I agree. I wish that she would have aborted Hillary's mom. That would have been wonderful.
I want to do aborted babies get like straight to heaven or whatever.
Well, I could make an
I forget that
argument
whole.
that aborted babies don't have a soul because
Right.
when
Yeah.
does the soul enter the body? It's when they take their first breath, according to Genesis.
Actually, according to some Hindu traditions, the soul enters the body in 49 days after conception.
Yeah, that would be interesting. And
I wonder if
apparently,
that.
Hindu babies choose their parents at the time of their conception. So, like, they see a guy and a woman going at it, they're like, "Yeah, I'm going to pop into her." Boop.
Doesn't it also go to some Greek philosophy?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It's one of the gods or something. They're showing something, and all the people get to decide where they go on the earth. I forget the story.
Well, then I clearly picked wrong.
Yeah. Right. I got pushed. I got. Hey, look at that! What? Ah! Ha ha! Push him down to earth. There you go, faggot. Good luck.
But see, that also gets into the did God force us into human bodies? And so, in
Well, see,
this way, we would have
yeah.
to agree to take human form.
I think if that's the case, that makes us like angels,
Yeah,
like Christians in that sense. But that's the awakening of spirit. I don't know if it works for every human. But definitely, like in that thing, that would make them like angels or whatever. Yeah.
Or maybe even gods.
But there's a weird. Yeah, that one's a weird one. That has to do with the pre-existing soul.
Yeah.
Like everyone's pre-existing soul was already with God or something like that. Which
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know
I
either,
could
but
I could in a sense agree to it, yeah, because it's kind of like, well, all is of God, so even in the pre-thought of existence, everything had to be contained in God. So a part of us was there in the beginning, had to be there in order of us for us to happen now. No missing element. And to answer your question, no, I never got to go review what happened on JG's. William came in and then he's like, "Let's watch your drunk stream and you can self-reflect on it." And I was like, "What a big fucking waste of time." I did it to oblige them. I shouldn't have, because I was trying to go back to watching the shit that I wanted to watch while I was drinking. So hopefully, if I have time later, I'll get back to doing that. What I planned to do earlier, but got derailed. I guess it's fine. I'm just complaining a little bit. Not being much of a stoic. See, I like to complain. That's why I don't want to be a stoic, because complaining is fun.
Well, which form of Greek philosophy would you hold to the most?
I don't know.
I kind of think
Diogenes.
Yeah, I really don't know.
Diogenes. Okay. Is that for you or for Todd?
Well, that's for me.
Okay. Yeah, me also. But I think Todd might be more of a cynic.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm not familiar with names and forms and choosing sides of philosophy. Oh, I'm a student of this.
Well, cynics said we might as well behave like dogs do because dogs don't lie and they're just kind of in the moment, very zen.
Ooh, that's loud.
So you're just being true to your nature and not pretending to be anything else. I don't think that they even pretended to be men, whereas most Greek philosophy would.
You're in my sunlight.
Well, I guess it wouldn't. Is that really? I guess as an adult, you get to choose what type of philosophy, but wouldn't it be like something that you grow up into? So mine
Well,
would be.
you would certainly be heavily influenced as a child, but yes, when you become an adult, you can make the decision if you want. So have you made that decision, or have you
How
just
could
naturally?
one? Well, that's the thing. How could one make that decision if they've never been introduced to it? Because wouldn't that be like in the sense of choosing like a Chinese zodiac thing or the
No,
astrology? It's that something you inherently are.
and that may be it. Maybe it is something you inherently are. You just don't know the word for it yet, because that's what happened with me. I found out that I held certain positions, and then I later found out that there were already names for those.
Right, I guess so. I guess I'd say technically Christian philosophy because technically Christian philosophy is Greek philosophy. So
Hmm.
I'd say that in that sense I could get away with saying that.
So
Uh,
Middle Platonism,
no, just saying Christian philosophy, like because technically it is true.
right? But what is Christian
Yeah.
philosophy?
Fuck, what was I gonna say? I don't know. I forgot the fucking word for it. Starts with a T. It's like Theo something. Because it has to involve with God, so there's like a Theo in it. I forgot the word.
It wouldn't be theosophy, would it?
It might be. I don't know. I just know it
Oh,
has Theo because it's involving with God.
mhm. Well, what kind
I
of philosophy
forget.
did Jesus advocate for?
Huh?
What kind of philosophy did Jesus advocate for?
Uh, fuck.
I mean, if you're going to say Christian philosophy, you got to define what that is.
I could say that, but still not know.
Okay, that's good
Still be
enough.
a student, right? I'm still learning.
Sure.
I think that's fair to say because I've never been asked that question. What type of philosophy did Jesus call? And I could say his own because that's technically true. Like, but
That's non-informative.
yeah, doesn't really help anyone.
Yeah.
But it's technically also true.
Well, is there any philosophy that isn't God's philosophy, since God is the all in all?
Any type of philosophy that isn't. Probably not. It all depend on the philosophy. Maybe philosophies that don't exist. That's kind of on the point. That's already the case.
Well, if you don't know any, I recommend looking up Diogenes. He's a personal hero because he's not only wicked smart, he's also kind of a troll.
All right. I'll try to let autocorrect spell that when I look that back up later.
Well, there's a test on clearerthinking.org that lets you answer a bunch of questions and then tells you which philosopher you are most like. And that's who I came up with as.
Okay. Yeah, I'll see if I click that. That'd be fun. Little questionnaire thingy. I took the intelligence ones, and it's like your average. I think I got like 109 or 110
Yeah.
for the fucking thing. Well, I mean, it's pretty blatant. I'm actually quite surprised. I'm like, oh, thank God. At least
I
I'm
think
that.
that must have been off because I think every single person that has posted their results, it's been a little bit higher than they actually are, including myself.
Mine was low. Mine was low. It's like, well, I guess normal low. I saw that compared to everyone
Yeah,
else. Yeah, it was low.
109 is a little bit above average.
That's what the thing said. Yeah, that's a lot of Mustang. Shit, dude. Fucking poor fucker. Damn, it's me with the high ass buzzing and the cicadas outside in them. I might pick up all that shit. Damn. Apologies.
Well, sir, do you have any wonderful koans for us today?
Poems?
Koan, C-O-A-N.
Oh, no.
See, Bond, maybe that's what Lizard's waiting for. Maybe he figured by September, no one's gonna care about a video. So even if he did post one, it wouldn't matter. But I think it was just like a slow stage exit to the left. I don't know if we're gonna see his face again. He might just be like, I'm done with this community and leave. Find somewhere else and be like, these are my new stomping grounds.
Mm,
He seems like the packer upper.
yeah.
But he could just be very busy, as he claims.
Oh, no. I think he's a little embarrassed.
I don't know why he would be. Maybe he could be.
For making wild, unsupportable claims.
And then when questioned on them, doubling down and then
Yes.
touch with it.
Midnight, this is your stream. You got to provide us with a topic.
Watch him be gone. He's taking some huge ass shit.
Yeah, probably. We
He's
did all that.
masturbating.
That's just what I was thinking. We did all that talk about preaching and catching, and he got excited.
Maybe he fell asleep. Wake up!
I was thinking about
It's
something last night, but I remember thinking, hey, I should bring this up. And that's the end of my story because I don't remember what it was.
That happens to me sometimes.
I'm still here, by the way. I'm just eating.
Okay,
oh cool.
I'm gonna start a stream so I can eat.
Dude, fuck you.
Not even if you ask nice.
Oh, you know you love me.
I do.
I gotta get my fucking tire fixed. I have a bad alignment, and I just bought these fucking tires, and one side's already showing the goddamn what's it called? Metal, the little strings. I'm like, fuck. So that's something I gotta go take care of, and I'm not too happy about that, but just one normal wears and tears of the vehicle. It's my back alignment too, so not too happy. I have to have a donut on it. I just got all my brakes did though, so that's cool. Nice new brakes. That was a
Oh,
nice $100.
I was thinking about that the other day. Like in most states, they have laws where you can't even sue a doctor unless you can prove, I think it's malfeasance. So, like, just being incompetent isn't enough. Can you imagine if we did that for auto mechanics? Somebody screws up your brake service and you have to prove that they wanted you to run off the road before you could say anything.
Wow.
So, like, if they just screwed up your brakes and you killed your whole family driving into a semi, they'd be like, no, that's okay. They're covered.
Yeah, right. Well, if I die because of my brakes, it's because of family. So that's all right. Family killed me, so I'm okay with family like fucking up on the brakes and I die, and then my family's dying too. It's bound to happen, I guess, right?
Bound to happen.
There you go. There's a
To
question.
some way, yeah.
Bayesian certainty.
How bad does the legal system have to be before it's considered a moral justification for going around it?
Not very bad at all, in my estimation.
Yeah, if you live in a state that says you can't sue your doctor unless you could prove that what they did was like on purpose, like they wanted to
Yeah.
hurt you.
Yeah, not only intentional, but actively seeking to harm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not possibly that they faked a license, got hired at a hospital, and then ended up hurting a bunch of people because they're incompetent or just didn't care.
Well, have you heard that podcast, Dr. Death?
I've heard of it.
Okay, well, in season 2, it talks about this doctor that starts off in, I want to say, is it Knoxville? It was in Tennessee, I think. I think it's Tennessee. What's their big town? Is it Knoxville? Well, anyway, so they go through his education and everything, and he was going into research. He never planned to practice as a doctor. And then he got all into drugs and all this other stuff, and eventually it got so bad that they even had the other people who owned the business with him had to take it away from him because he was screwing things up so bad. So then he went and started becoming like a neurosurgeon, and it turns out that like it's too long for me to tell the whole thing, so I'm trying to make it as short as possible. But basically, he never did the theater hours in surgery that he was supposed to, and there wasn't any like sign up system. People just expected you to like follow the honor code, and it was everything about his career was like that, where because he was making money for his teachers, they just passed him over and over, even though he probably should have not passed a lot of his courses. And then when he went to join a medical group, like they wouldn't fire him because he would sue them. And then even hospitals where he killed people through his negligence would never say anything bad about him because they were so afraid of getting sued. And so eventually he ended up killing like 7 or 8 people, including his best friend that he literally sawed his head off. Like he was doing some procedure on the spine, but he didn't even know the right tool for it because he never went to those classes. So he was using something else and basically like totally, what's the term? Not grill, not kind of like a rasp, like a wood rasp. He rasped out this guy's vertebra until the point that the spine above and below were no longer connected. Yeah, so it was messed up. And again, he couldn't be prosecuted because they couldn't prove that he has set out to harm these people. And then he screwed up, and in a drug fueled rage, he emailed somebody saying that he was going to kill somebody in surgery the next day, and it turns out he did kill them in surgery the next day. And then when the prosecutor got the evidence, because they had to be hand delivered the evidence by 2 other surgeons who were sick of him doing all this damage and nobody stopping him. Like even the state of Texas didn't stop him because at this point he was uh, operating up in Dallas. And like these 2 doctors had to hand walk all the evidence to the prosecutor because nobody would stop
Jesus
him.
Christ.
Not even the medical board. The medical board was like, well, we're only set up to prosecute doctors, like pain management doctors who are operating pill mills. If you got a surgeon that is actually killing like 97% of his patients, we don't have anything to investigate or prosecute somebody like that. So next time y'all go to the doctor, remember, it's just like that. As long as they can get through medical school and pass the board, they're basically untouchable.
I mean, not really. You can always just go kill them. But
Right.
then no one wants to, because crime, actual violence gets things done. So that's why it's against the law.
Very well said.
I guess maybe not in all cases though. I will be lenient. Violence isn't always the answer, but it is a good solution sometimes.
No, it's always a answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to tell people shotgun solves every problem. That's solvable anyway. If you
Yeah.
can't solve it by shooting it with the gun, you point the gun at someone that can't solve it.
Well,
Genius. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
that's one of my 3 favorite quotes from Stalin. That all problems are personal. Eliminate the person, there's no longer a problem.
Well, let's see how that worked out.
Yeah. Well, pretty well for him until the doctors that he had thrown in the gulag decided that they didn't want to risk saving him. Then everybody just hung around the bed and watched him die.
That's gotta be cool. I can't believe that's history. It's like kind of weird poetic justice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. That made me think of South Africa.
What about South Africa?
It's just an amazing place.
Okay.
I wish people knew about like the last 70 or so years of South Africa's history.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You have this movement of mostly but not entirely black people, Africans, like literal Africans,
Mm-hmm.
they're in Africa. Uh, getting rid of apartheid, right? Nelson
Mm-hmm.
Mandela comes out, becomes president. Nelson Mandela is more or less a liberal, right? Tries not to destroy the whole system, just gets rid of the racism. That's the goal. it kind of happens for the most part. But then the radical element that was there before Nelson Mandela decided that they wanted to take power, and there's been a bunch of corruption issues.
Mm-hmm.
So they decided that it was the white people that was doing it.
Right.
They removed all the white people from government, and they removed all the white people from these nationalized businesses, and then they started seizing all the farmland that white people had and giving it to people who didn't know how to farm.
Yeah. And
And
then
now
they
they're
complained that all the people who knew how to raise crops are now either dead or fled the country.
it's not. It's a bunch of things, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
it's not.
Oh, I
not
know
that
what you're
white
talking
people-
about now.
Yeah,
I've
it's
heard
not
it.
that white people are magical. It's just that they were the competent people that were hanging around.
Right. That's what I'm saying. The
Right.
people who are actually running things, they all got rid of, and now they're
Yeah.
surprised they can't get things done.
And now they only have electricity 3 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
You have to import all their food because no one can grow shit.
Yeah.
Whole country's on the verge of collapse.
It's California's getting kind of that way. If they didn't have such good weather and the cinema industry.
Do you guys know who did it? The liberals.
No, none of them.
Progressives more. It was like the Marxist progressives that did it.
I was
in
making.
South
I was
Africa.
just making. a joke.
Hello,
Yeah.
Midnight is back.
No,
Okay.
What? Where is he?
I'm right here.
Where?
See how many times they'll repeat it.
I just removed them.
Oh man.
now you can't know where you are.
You want to do that again, bitch?
Huh?
You want to do that again?
Sir, Hillary, did you guys hear something? I swear, I hear. It sounds like midnight, but I'm not sure.
Does it sound kind of echoey?
Maybe if you
Can't
go into
ask you.
special existence, we'll know.
Yeah, it sounds.
Are you
It sounds
done?
like a. Yeah, it sounds. It sounds like kind of like my conscience, but like something I just shouldn't listen to it. It's weird.
Okay. That's close enough. Okay. I do kind of have a topic.
I know you
Obviously,
can't
you know,
really
obviously-
feel sound.
What was that?
I know, you can't really feel sound, but I swear I feel albino on my ears.
Serb.
Go ahead.
Okay. I know kidnapping someone is illegal.
But
But is it always immoral? That's what I'm wondering.
no, probably not.
I think you probably mean unethical. But
Well, yeah,
is it-
unethical.
Okay.
So if you're
No,
talking
not
about
at
taking
all.
someone, yeah, if you're talking about taking someone without their consent, that if that's what we're defining as kidnapping, or in a sense, another way to go more extreme would be against their will, right? So if those two scenarios happen, one could say that if someone is unconscious from like a burning fire, and there's a building, and you go to kidnap them out of the building because they're unconscious, you don't have the right to touch them. But under their circumstances, it would be like that. I don't know if that's, but it's still
You're
taking
saving
them.
their lives,
Yes,
so it's not
that
really the
is-
same thing.
But it's still, it
No,
still
it
is.
is.
saying.
It
Because
still
that's
is.
the direction I was going to go. Yeah.
Yeah, it still is. It's underneath. You're touching them and grabbing them and saving them against them. But for all you know, they could have started the fire, and they want to
Mhm.
die in that fire.
Kind of reminds me of the movie The Incredibles. Right in the beginning,
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Incredible saves someone, but he gets sued because the guy wanted to die. Yeah, I love that movie.
Right now, he's incurred all the medical bills and everything else.
Which causes him daily pain. I saved your life. You didn't save my life. You ruined my death. God, I love that quote. But yeah, I guess technically saving someone from a burning building does count as kidnapping, but it's not illegal. What the fuck?
Well, that was the issue with people that were in cults, and they would go and kidnap them and send them to deprogrammers. Was that kidnapping? Definitely, it was. But the courts had a little bit of a difficulty there
Yeah, right.
because was the person able? Was the person in sound enough mind to make the choice for themselves whether or not to remain in the cult? And then if it was the person was like under 16 or whatever the age was in that state, if they were still under their parents' custody, like guardianship, then technically the cult had kidnapped because they deprived the parents of their parental rights.
Oh, that's good.
See, Hillary's, I brought up a topic because I know you guys.
Yeah.
You guys were bitching at me. Starts the stream, doesn't bring a topic.
Yeah, it's a good topic. I like it, and I think we all
You know-
pretty much agree.
I was gonna say I heard something that sounded like midnight again. It was weird.
Okay, Tog, you get one more. Actually, no, we're done. Okay, I'm putting a
Okay,
moratorium on that.
All right.
What are we moratorium in?
Tog,
Something that
pretend I'm
sounds
not
like
here.
midnight. Yeah,
Oh,
we're not gonna pretend midnight's not here. Wait, I'm getting confused now. You just fucked with my brain. What am I supposed to be doing now?
I don't know.
Minecrafting
forgot.
yourself.
Oh,
Sorry, Tog, that was too much. That was too much.
Don't worry, I'll just creeper us all.
But,
Allahu
I don't know.
Akbar.
I don't know if you guys ever watched Matt Pat or know who he is. I remember watching this one game theory that he did about people, people who actually paid, people who actually paid to be kidnapped. It was the strangest fucking thing I've ever heard. Like there was this woman who actually paid to get kidnapped to be put in a room so she could lose weight. Like a bed, a fucking exercise machine. Just like, wow. Talk about extremes going to. Hello, Will. Talk about extremes going to lose weight. Like,
Wasn't that a fucking South Park or adult Aqua Team Hunger Force episode?
I don't know, but apparently it actually happened.
Yeah, Carl had like the fucking sexomatic. I swear to God, that's like the fucking Aqua Team Hunger Force movie. He's trying to get fit so he can get
The man, the myth, the legend is
machine
here.
thing.
Will Ferrell. I mean, Will.
Will Ferrell.
What's up, y'all?
yeah.
Oh, nothing much. We were talking about your boyfriend earlier, and how he's
Which
probably
one?
being a little bitch. Well,
Mr. Lizard.
yeah, Mr. Lizard.
Oh, that boyfriend. Okay.
You got so
You know, that's
many.
a- Hold up, that's a weird one to say because technically my people are from Spain, Assembly of God. So how might people ever colonize when they're the colonizers?
Yep.
That's kind of odd for you to
Assembly-
say.
Assembly of God. You always misunderstood my position on that. You're retarded. Okay, I never said that, that it would cure diabetes or anything else. Like, I never mind. He loves doing shit like this.
I also didn't know that Spaniards for a time were Islamic. So technically, I
sure.
could have some Islamic. I had no idea. Again, I'm learning some new stuff, and it turns out I have to learn a lot of history about Spain that I did not know. So there's a lot of root digging that I have to go into. Like I even got a fucking surprisingly enough, like a Mexican from a fucking Yale Christian Bible study of all things, learning this shit, and I was like, wow, it's so fucking fascinating to learn some of the rich history. Some of the Mexican stuff I already knew, but just to hear it again, like in a Bible study, it really makes you it fucks with my brain. Like wow, but it really is nice to hear that like as a confirmation bias, like as a second witness, somewhere else that it's like kind of confirmed, I guess.
I love.
But I would say it is a confirmation bias, I guess.
Needed to pay to get kidnapped to lose weight when all she had to do was put down the donuts.
You see, it was a thyroid problem,
No, it wasn't.
metabolism
It wasn't.
problem.
God damn it! There you go. Sorry, my StreamYard's just acting up on mobile.
Spank it.
Well, yeah. But no, that story always baffles me. Like they actually served. There's actual services out there where you pay to get kidnapped, and they're legit. Somehow they what?
Well, it's a little bit
Right.
different. There's also services where parents will pay to have their children kidnapped from their own home.
Yep.
Technically, yeah. Those are like survival teaching things, right?
Yeah, those boot camp
Yeah.
type deals.
Yeah.
Well,
You train
there
your
was a
kids
story-
and whatever
there was-
something that
there-
happens in the situation.
Yeah.
That's
There
nice trauma
was-
for your kid, right? What if imagine they never get kidnapped in their life? You
Well, no, there
fucking did
was-
that for nothing, but
There was
guess per preparation H, right? Sorry.
there was a story. There was a story about this 6-year-old who was walking, who was walking home, and he got kidnapped by his aunt, by his aunt and cousin, so they could teach him a lesson about not talking to strangers or going in strangers' car.
Oh,
Like,
I remember
motherfucker,
that one.
You just traumatized the shit out of the fucking kid. Like, needless to say, I think they went to jail because of that, which is good. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I remember that story actually. I heard the same one. That is fucked, right? That's unplanned for shit. I guess that's like waking your kids in the middle of the night and screaming, "Fire! Fire! Fire!" Like a fire drill.
I mean, that's just being prepared.
Yeah.
I saw a film about that where the mom was like a preparedness freak, and she did something like that, and she was always doing stuff like that. Well, anyway, one day she went in and like scared her son. I don't remember how it went. It was like a 3-part horror film, and anyway, somehow or another, like he threw a spear from off his wall through her throat, and like she died. It was weird. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have brought it up because I didn't have the total recollection of what it was. But anyway, so the dad ends up, because the kid was only like 6 or 7, so then the dad ends up taking the blame for the kid killing the mom. And then we have like a cutscene to them talking in prison. Like one of them's in and the other one's out, and you don't know which is which because they're not wearing uniforms. Turns out that the son was not the one in prison, it was the dad. And then he's telling him how he saw his mom again today and how she wasn't dead, so he went ahead and killed her. Apparently, he's become a serial killer that anytime he sees somebody that looks like his mom, he kills them. So,
That's some Ted Bundy level shit.
yeah. Trying to remember the other guy from California that did that. Like had sex with his mom. Dead.
Sorry, I just saw a fucking Bonds comment. My thyroid making me gobble all the cake.
Yeah.
Cake has many meanings, so I imagine someone gobbling a cake and then eating a nice big fat ass.
Mm.
Giggity.
Yeah, I love me some cake.
So, Will, why does JG not allow you in anymore?
He thinks I'm stalking him.
Wow.
I mean, there is such a thing as cyber stalking, but I doubt you're doing that.
Well,
That's
if
bizarre.
somebody says that they want people to come on their panel, and
He's cyber sniffing.
yeah, and then he claims that they're stalking, that's like some reverse mental kung fu crap,
I
gaslighting.
take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
That's bizarre because I'm the one with like the multi-step plan of when to have what conversations with JG. He
Mhm.
likes me.
I don't know why he. I guess it's because I was a
Yeah, I was
policeman.
actually surprised he let me on.
I think
I'm
that's
a
why he
bit of an
doesn't like me.
asshole, in case you haven't noticed. That's
I mean, I'm
probably why he
lovable.
doesn't
That's why
like
he
me,
let me on.
right?
I'm lovable. That's why he let me on. That's true. I guess so, but I get he wouldn't let me on for a minute. So I was, like I said, I was surprised he let me on too. I thought you would say something like, "I need more of an adult, less not child," or something like that.
Well, he wants anybody
Getting
he
the
can poke
cold
fun at.
shoulder.
Yeah, he's not
Don't
looking
we
for
all?
real intellectual challenges.
Do you think he wants his worldview changed, or do you think he
No.
wants to convince someone of his that
I
his
think
is
he's
right?
trying to convince himself that he's sane, and that's why he's bouncing these ideas off of everyone else.
If he ain't wanting his world changed, then he shouldn't be talking to Sir or Hillary's.
Yeah. I'm interested to see when Sir puts the kibosh on him, drops the hammer.
Well, it might be a minute. Like he did a
Mhm.
bunch of streams all at once one week, and I was in there 2 or 3 times, and then I only saw one this week, and I was in the middle of working. Oh no! I decided to start working on Lying Heart.
That will be interesting.
So Mission Impossible. Then
Mhm.
you're going that route.
I got him to say that you should probably read the Apocrypha.
That's technically true.
Yeah.
Everyone should probably like they should read it. They shouldn't be
What was he
avoided.
objecting to about reading the Apocrypha?
He wasn't really objecting to it. He was asking about it, and I was giving him arguments of like maybe why you should consider some of the Apocrypha scripture. Because Jesus in Matthew seems to quote some information from the first book of Enoch and calls it scripture.
Mhm.
And then Paul alludes to a bunch of different apocryphal books in his epistles. I said, look, you don't have to accept it, but
Congratulations.
if you want to stay consistent, if you don't want to read the apocrypha, or if you don't want to consider them scripture, you
Yeah.
should probably throw out Matthew,
So
and then you should probably throw out the epistles.
can I press you on where you're wanting to go with that?
Oh no, anywhere. I'm fine with
Just
wherever it goes.
some little alteration in thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You're gonna have him rewrite his whole script if you don't slow down.
Well, all you have to do is listen to the public statements that he's already made. He has already said that Ozzy Osbourne, for having sung War Pigs, is better than all the churches. And he's made a
Oh,
number of other crazy statements that just, what do you even mean by this?
is that what that was? I was in that room, but I wasn't listening.
Yeah.
I caught Warpig.
Ozzy
Other
Osbourne
people were talking
has
about
what?
Ozzy.
Yes, something about Ozzy
I don't watch
Osbourne,
Lionheart.
how he's better than all of the churches because he sang the song War Pig.
I never heard that song. We
It's
had to
pretty
listen
good.
to the
I like
song
it.
then to understand the context. Maybe there's something in that song in the lyrics that he sees that God spoke to him, and that's why.
I don't know. Yeah, that was something I read in the chat is that he has also made Gnostic claims because, of course, he has dinner with God every day. So they
Turkey
talk.
sandwich.
Yeah, they talk over a sandwich.
I talk some, but he don't answer back. He just
I mean,
sits
shit.
there and
I
nods
like
and
that idea
cheers.
of God. You know that like you can expect around 7:30, 8 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon. You're gonna get that rap on the door. God
Yeah.
comes in, pulls up a chair, be like, "I brought a sixer. You down?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
Mm.
I am
Well, you
down."
know the thing about having an extra chair, right? Well, that's at Passover or something like that for Elijah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's always all that. That's a weird one, right?
I never knew this, but apparently Mormons leave a chair for Jesus at every general conference, which is their like 1 or 2 times a year general meeting. And so far, he's never showed up. Although some people claim to have seen him, though.
I mean, don't rush him.
Yeah.
He told you
He has
he'd be
better
back.
things to do.
He'll be back, but
He's building.
he's built. Yes, that's what I was
He's
gonna
building.
think. Big.
He's a carpenter.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. Oh, sir.
Is it
What
weird
the
that
hell is this?
I would probably just pull the popsicles out, the hot dogs out. You've seen them.
What monstrosities are these?
Well, this is a baked bean popsicle.
Ooh,
Okay.
that might be good actually. It's like eating frozen banana. What did that say? Yeah, I missed it.
Oh, I don't remember. It's not important. It's spaghetti donuts.
Oh, it said okay.
Wow.
That seems like actually that would be tasty too. So as long as you didn't get like sauce on your fucking hands. Don't show. Why are you showing these stoner foods? Why?
Because I think they're funny.
I'm fucking like getting hungry now. I just had spaghetti and meatballs too, so that's really
I
wants me to
hope
make that
not.
again.
None of those sound good to me. Like baked bean popsicle or hot dog and pickled jello.
I could probably. I sound crazy, but I could probably do the baked bean popsicle. As fucked up as that sound, like I don't know, I could probably do that. I'm not gonna try it. If someone ever like, if I ever saw someone on like they do like the what is the influencers are like, you have $100 to eat this bean popsicle. Eat the bean popsicle for money, and I'm like, all right, sure. At least taste it, and then I just give it back. You know, like okay, if I liked it, then I continue eating it. I said, fucking keep your goddamn money. It's got a free fucking popsicle. And then they'd be fucking probably like, what the fuck? Right?
Yeah, I'm too stuffed and tired to do anything.
Well, luckily this is a chill. This is a chill stream, so you know, just chill and relax.
I kind of want to hear a cow moo.
Moo.
There you go.
Yes, he's a
Yeah.
cow.
No, I don't know. I guess I'm a little bit homesick. Miss living in the country. Don't see much cows over here.
I miss my pet. It's the lizard.
You miss Mr. Lizard? He's probably dead. May
I
he
miss
rest in
him.
tail peace.
I wasn't finished playing with him yet.
Right. What a crazy guy. Crazy Mexican. Oh wait, I don't know whether he's a Mexican or not.
Just
he's
I
allege
call
it.
it racism.
Just allege it, and then they'll substantiate your claim. Tell him he has to prove you wrong.
Both he and Serb do have lisps when they talk, but I don't know. Serb, you know, Serb speaks. Serb is better articulate than Mr. Lizard. That's what I've noticed.
I don't think that a Serb has a lisp. I've never been able to identify.
I don't know. I hear it.
Well,
That's a little bit of an impediment, but I don't think it's actually a lisp. It's like his tongue is too big for
I
his
think
mouth.
if there's
or
an
something.
expert on speech impediments here, it's probably
Oh yeah, good point.
No, I
doubt
have
the albino.
I have a speech impediment. I can't do the
The-
R's.
my canines are so big that my whole front row of teeth on the top and bottom don't touch.
is
Makes
that
Well,
why
the-
when you is that why
hold-
you have difficulty with the word thousand?
1,000,
Yeah, say it again.
1,000.
1,000.
Yeah.
Hold up, sir. Do you speak another language?
At
Yeah.
least 2.
Okay. So there's this cool little thing that goes with speaking languages. So depending on the language that you speak, like I think it's most Americans, their tongue rests on the roof of their mouth, while some other dialects rest on the bottom of the
Yeah.
mouth.
I already had someone tell me that my tongue's on the bottom of my mouth.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
pretty
No,
cool.
that's not the only problem. I think it's because of his canines that he also can't say the word measure.
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 Measure. Yeah, that's the best I can do.
Okay, honestly, this seems like a skit from Family Guy. You know what I mean? You know, Brian says, "Hey, cool whip."
Cool whip.
What do you mean about cool whip?
I mean, that's like axe and ask.
Oh yeah.
Let me ask you a question, yeah. You gonna axe me, huh? Yeah, I'll fucking axe you. Give me my fucking hatchet, motherfucker.
Cash me
Lucky there's a
outside.
family Jew.
You don't need us here for that, do you, Tog? You're just good.
I need witnesses. I need
Hey, it's
alibis.
PJ, the brother from another mother. And
Hey, what's up? Howdy, fellas.
Tog was just getting his chair and climbing up on the turnbuckle. Who's next?
everybody.
That's my title. You can't take it from me.
You're all
It's-
beautiful.
I
It's-
want
it's-
the big boy belt. Sorry.
Lucky there's a family guy. Lucky there's
Ask
a man
me a
who.
question, Joe.
Oh, by the way, I don't know. I don't know if any of you watched the Planet of the Apes trilogy. You know, like the one from 2011 to 2017.
No.
Well,
No, but you've recommended it to me.
yes, you should watch it. There's actually a 4th movie coming out called Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I don't know how it's gonna be, but based on what I've read, it's it seems interesting. Like I do recommend watching the first 3 films before well, obviously before you watch the sequel. The sequel to the trilogy. No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether they're just making a 4th one and not a trilogy, or just.
All right, guys. I gotta go. Sorry.
Bye.
Adios.
But there was a version of there was a movie Tim Burton made like in 2001 that was just.
Is that
was-
the one where you always see the meme of Michael Jackson and the other one playing I guess one of the 2 chimpanzee types, right? Like they look alike kind of deal.
I don't think I've ever seen that, but I'm just gonna say yes.
Okay, I think that's yeah. I haven't seen that one, or actually any of them. I watched the original ones, of course. Who hasn't?
Yeah, I saw several of the originals. The last one being the one where they were worshiping the nuclear missile.
Mhm.
That's the second movie.
Okay,
So you've probably watched them out of order.
I probably did. I almost definitely did. I
Oh, was
watched
it
them
the
all on
second
TV.
one when they had the 2 come back and they had the? No, it was weird, right? Because they had 2 of them. The 2 I can't remember their names. I know Dr. Zaius was the orangutan type, but there was the 2 Zira and Cornelius.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Did they go there and then they had a baby that? that
Yeah.
ended being
See,
Caesar.
here's the thing.
And
You
the third
have
one
you
was Caesar,
have-
and sorry.
Hold on. you have the first Planet of the Apes, which came out in 1968, right? Then you have number 2, which came out in 1970. Then you have number
Missed
3,
a good
which
year,
I
huh?
think came out in 1971 or 1972. It came out really close to each other.
In the Nam.
Yeah. So the second movie, is where they worship the the nuclear warhead, and Hillary, you saw the entire movie, right?
Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas.
I think
Dr.
so,
Zayas,
but
Dr. Zayas.
it was a long time
you
ago.
would. That's gonna be stuck
Well-
in my head now.
What?
Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas.
Zayas?
Dr. Zayas.
Well, basically, they blow up. Basically, they blow up the Earth in the second movie. In the third movie, there seems to be like
It's about goddamn time they did that.
What was that?
They said they blew up the Earth. This is about goddamn time.
Well, you guys should watch the trilogy, the Caesar trilogy.
Yes, sir. What is it on Netflix or they have it anywhere? They got it.
Netflix, Amazon
Streaming or-
Prime, up your ass. I don't know. It's
All right,
you'll
on.
find it.
That's where I keep my car keys.
How did you know I had a satellite dish up there?
I don't know. I just guessed.
He's been creeping on us late at night.
Okay. You asked me how I knew the name of a pedophile for jail. Wow.
I was surprised that he knew the nickname that prisoners use for pedophiles.
Yes.
And what is that?
What is it?
Chomo.
Oh,
What?
chum. Yeah.
No, Chomo, not Chum.
Chomo?
Oh, child molester. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Chomo. All right.
Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. Chomo. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't know that since you knew the word. But
Well, the guy I showed you never mentioned that part. He just called them Chomos, which makes sense now. Wow.
It's like Chinese Mexican gang members, Chomos. Watch out for a minute, the Chomos are out there.
I would bet the name stuck though, because it does kind of sound Spanish.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, my phone is on fire.
This phone is on fire.
Yes. It is. Holy shit! We've been live. We've been live for an hour and 20 minutes. Sorry,
Oh my God.
28.
Feels
That
like
means-
48 years to me.
I've been here for about 50 minutes.
What are you doing with your life, Serb?
Yeah, what am I doing with my life? No, right now, pretty much nothing. I'm honestly trying to be lazy.
You're trying to be lazy. I am lazy. I need to work on that.
I've succeeded, sir.
You succeeded. Okay.
Yeah, I got sucked into that other pirate game, the Pirate of the Burning Sea thing.
Oh,
Yeah, I haven't come up from air since I started.
and I haven't even had time to like try it a second time or third time. I played it because I played it once after that.
That's okay. I love being that far ahead of you in something, at least one thing in life. I'm kicking the ass out of you in.
Yeah, I was just thinking we need to find a game where there isn't, it's not that there can't be like build up to you when playing the game, but something where there isn't a huge gap between
Oh yeah. We were
starting
talking
and not
about
starting.
Hillary's recommended. Was it Star Trek Online?
Yeah.
Or Star Fleet or some shit?
No, Star Trek Online. That was it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
if you guys
That's
are
kinda
like
the same thing, though.
adventuring and stuff like that,
Oh.
and like group things, attacking bosses and delves and dives and grabbing things like that, I think Elder Scrolls is good because it's easy on its level, but then it has certain dungeons and levels that are pretty difficult in veteran mode too if you're into the hard stuff. But
What's
You
the
mean Elder
console?
Scrolls Online?
Yeah, yeah. Because it's not complicated, but it
Is
can
it
be complicated.
cross-platform?
I think it might be.
It's
As
I'm not
long
just
as it's
sure.
open to PC.
But you can also do solo too, so they could go off and do their own thing, and they group up with 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone wants to do it, jump in and out. Kind of be a cool thing. I think maybe.
That's the way all these games are.
Yeah, yeah.
I just can't do MMOs. I don't think. The whole the whole point for me would be playing with my friends,
hmm
and for one, I don't have the time to normally play when they play, and when would play together, they would have to basically spend the time trying to catch me up with them,
Yeah.
and
Not much
unless I
fun.
did it on my
Rojo?
own. But then again, if I did it on my own, then I'm not playing with them anyway. So
Yeah, that makes sense. Rojo,
Yo, Brojo.
Hello, hello.
this
What's up,
world
Rojo?
is on fire.
Star Trek game? I might be interested in that.
Hey, that sounds fun. I think Halsey mentioned she might have an interest in it too.
I gave
Yeah,
it
I
a
seen
link.
that.
Sir, that just
Is-
would be another one we would be ahead of you at because you don't like the MMO type.
what's that? I don't like the type. It's just if the goal is to play with my friends, it's more or less impossible for me to do that with an MMO.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried that Star Trek one several years ago. I'm pretty sure they improved it a little bit. I mean, it's not too bad. It's pretty linear. It's really basic style, but I never got to the ship. I went through some, the train where you got your phaser, stun, kill, and that kind of jazz. And I had to go meet some guy to start talking about the ship, but I just got lost interest in it. But I imagine if there's more than one person, it might be, if you got a crew going, you have to just get shit going. It might be kind of fun. Bethesda has a new game coming out. I think it's called StarCraft or something like that. But it's
Starfield.
Starfield. Yeah, I don't think it's MMO. It's going to be more like a Fallout type game. But that looks pretty badass. I'm waiting for that one.
I'm waiting for that one too.
All right, on. So I played all the Fallouts. They're pretty cool. Fallout 4, you got your freaking nuclear base underground and all that stuff going. Gotta be working for you. Kind of fun. It's not too much of, it's just the strategic games I don't mind too much. Like I started off playing DOS. I think it was Command and Conquer, those type, Halo Wars and all that. But I like a little more action and gameplay into it.
I have thought about buying the they remastered Quake 2.
Oh, my son told me about that. Yeah. I want to play it, but I tried it, and man, my eyes, I'm like, I can only see out of one, or kind of, and it's way too fast for me. It's just like I just can't keep up with it. Just like, yeah, that's where my disability kind of kicks me in the freaking nuts. I can't play Destiny too well either.
Be like me, ignore your
More.
disability.
Is it a disability or a transability?
I mean, a transability would be like a transhuman ability, right? Transability where you can shoot lasers out of your eyes, or live for like 10,000 years, or claws out of your knuckles, like Wolverine. I don't know. That's a transability.
Something that's
Or,
turned the
a
bitches
poor-
on, something useful.
I mean, in an episode of Family Guy, Meg got the power to grow her nails long. So, imagine having that shitty power.
I don't know, you got an Amazon box in, and you gotta open it up in a jiffy. Come in handy once in a while.
Given the choice between picking one power, I'd pick all of them. Like, you know what? I'll take all of them, but you can only pick one. Watch me. I would just take all of them. Flight, shape shifting, wind
There have been some
manipulation, time
characters.
manipulation. Was that?
There have been some storylines where a character was able to pick up other people's abilities either by coming in physical contact with them, or by killing them.
Yeah, there's an anime named Charlotte that actually has a character with that power, but he doesn't know he can do that at first.
Mm-hmm.
My Hero Academia. I don't know if anyone has watched that. Yeah, it's too short in high school for everybody here.
Well, that mini series or that series Heroes, there was a guy named Siler who could steal other
Mhm.
people's powers,
Yeah.
and Peter Petrelli could too.
Speaking of superheroes and the show heroes, the 4400 was a very good series with that aired on the US on USA until they got canceled, and they brought it back, which was very shit. I never got past the first episode of the reboot of the 4400. No, fuck this. Too many black people.
Too many black people.
No.
What?
Yeah, in the reboot, a lot of the characters were black. It was
Are
a
you-
joke.
Were they Jehovah's Witnesses?
We could be heroes. Mm-mm. I wonder if I should end this because my phone is it's looking like a nuclear reactor, or just pause, recharge my phone, and just let the stream keep going.
Oh, why don't you just keep your phone plugged in?
Right, but then if I walk away, I'm gonna be hearing, "Where's midnight?"
Nah, you won't.
Also, why is this on your phone?
Because I'm at my mom's house.
Oh,
Okay, never mind.
yeah.
And we could go off there so I can explain and then start a new stream.
You went to your mom's house to not be with your mom, to hang out on the other.
Well, if
No,
you know the
obviously, I was with her earlier today and the weekend. Like, what the fuck, sir? You make me sound like a fucking asshole here.
All I'm saying is the reason why I'm not with my mom right now, even though she lives in this house, is because I'm with her every day.
but you enjoy the time you spend with her, right?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Major difference.
Every once in a while, I have to be like, "Shut up, woman."
Wow.
I think Midnight feels pressured to spend time. Otherwise, you might not do it.
Do you like your mom, Midnight?
I played the fifth.
See, the real problem Midnight has with his mom is that she didn't understand. Well, I'll put it this way: she wanted Midnight to be and act like a normal boy, but Midnight needed to be captured by a magical being in another reality and be given a new body so he can go on adventures in Japanese land.
What the?
This must be a really obscure reference, sir.
Oh,
What the?
Is this like from Death Note or something?
probably his last DMT trip.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of which, I still want to have that DMT trip.
No, it's a whole genre of anime.
Well, yeah, isekai is an anime. You know, it's a
He even knows the name.
Yeah, well, dude, you've seen my avatar. You've seen my avatar on Discord. Of course, I know the name.
Oh, the one Japanese. Oh yeah, the guy that got hit by the train and got abducted by God and went to like Germany during
Yes.
World War II. Yeah,
That's where it
that
takes you.
that one was okay. I kind of liked that one.
Yeah, well, see, there you go. But it wasn't exactly World War II. It was, you know, it was an
I know.
alternate
Yeah,
history.
it was World War II without the Nazis, but it was like all the same other everything else.
So this guy, he was a Japanese salary man that pissed off a person that was working with him. Right, he fired him, and the guy's like, "But I need this job." Like, well, you should have done it before because your numbers sucked. So okay, he goes home. He just finds his own business, and then then all of a sudden the guy pushes him off the train platform, and in the anime, time stops and he talks to a pigeon. Well, he talks to everybody, but he basically talks to God that takes the form of everyone around him. So he's like, God doesn't exist. Well, what do you mean I don't exist? I'm right here. And it's like, well, God, only people with who have comfort in their lives believe in God. Oh, so you're saying if I reincarnate you in a world without comfort, you believe in me? Wait, no, I think you misunderstood me. And lo and behold, he gets reincarnated into the body of a little girl who lives in an orphanage, gets malnutritioned, finally has her powers awakened, then joins the military because that's the only thing she can do, and basically becomes a badass.
That's a terrible summary.
Well, okay. Do you have a better summary?
Yes.
Then go ahead.
Guy gets murdered via train. God stops time, talks to God. Turns out, guy got murdered. Atheist. God's like, "Ha, you're an idiot," and then teleports him to a different magical Japanese land, where everyone's Japanese, even though they speak German. And he persists to go on to basically a giant murder spree in the sky with magical sky power things.
I mean, he's reincarnated. You forgot he's reincarnated as a little girl.
It doesn't matter. Like,
I mean, it does.
no. Only if you care about watching little girls do things.
God.
It's
You bet
important
it's
to, you know what? Forget it.
You walked into that one.
Yeah.
Really working. Was that?
And you scared Will away.
Ah, well.
Well, it's time for him to take care of the animals, isn't it? Usually around sundown, he takes care of his chickens and makes sure that they're all.
Oh, yeah, okay. I wasn't paying attention. It is starting to get dark in my room here.
They're all dragging
So
around.
Wednesday, Republican debate with the second place, third place people, or Trump would interview with Tucker Carlson happening
Trump
at
with
the
Tucker.
same time.
Yeah.
Love it.
I watch Liberal Hive Mind too.
Which one are you gonna go for first?
Probably the losers, just to see what they have to say, and if they all dump on him, then I'll switch over to him. Because realistically, the liberal hive mind guy was right. Like, he can make any demands that he wants. They need him. He doesn't need them. And so Fox kind of screwed himself.
I think it's great. It's so ingenious.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're both giving it to Fox at the same time. uh,
I'm just honestly, I think there's a decent chance Trump just incriminates himself more. He's going
Okay,
against one of the most basic suggestions that a lawyer gives you, which is shut the fuck up. Don't talk to anyone.
Right? Yeah. Zip it.
okay,
Talking
but
about his lawyer in his ear.
he's not under oath. People know that politicians lie, so any public utterances he makes really should not be probative.
Well, I mean, if he says something that would incriminate him, and then it gets used, and then his argument is you can't trust me, then
Well, it wouldn't.
the counter argument is you can't trust anytime Trump says he didn't do it.
Yeah, but you that wouldn't be the argument, though. It wouldn't be you can't trust me. It's does he have any substantiating claim? Because what somebody says on a stump speech or at a rally obviously has very little evidential value.
So you shouldn't believe him when he's talking on a stump speech.
Yeah, anytime he's talking in public, you should probably not believe him. I think that's a good rule of thumb.
So all the times he's got up on stage behind the podium and said you didn't do any of this, you shouldn't believe him.
That's right. None of that should be used in his favor either. Yeah, it should just be what's under oath. And then because he is such a demonstrable liar, even if he says it under oath, we should take it with a grain of salt and look for additional evidence.
Yeah, no, I think generally when people say things under oath, it can be used as evidence. I think it's
Well,
fair to use
yeah.
as evidence.
Right.
Trump Vivek, 2024.
That would be good.
I think that's what's gonna happen. That's what it's looking like right now.
I don't think Vivek would run with Trump.
You don't think he'd swallow his pride and say,
No.
hey, it's only one term and then I can be my own guy?
Yeah,
I don't
right?
think so. I don't think Vivek thinks he can win another term if he runs with Trump.
Hmm.
I don't think there would be enough carryover from Trump fans to essentially force the party to run Vivek. Especially if Trump's just going to start blaming you for things.
Well, what makes you think he would blame Vivek? Because he didn't blame what's his face until he started disobeying Trump.
Yeah. I think Vivek won't break the law.
Bad Ramaswamy. Sounds funny.
I think that, again, what's his face? I don't even remember. He could have delayed certification if he had wanted to. He just said, I don't think we've got enough. We can't certify the electors. You know, the states admitted that they broke their own constitution. And just the fact that courts won't hear the complaints is not a valid enough justification to ignore the law.
See, when I looked into that, I didn't find where they broke the Constitution. At least in the one example that I was given from Irenic. Anyway.
Well, that's ironic. I don't know. Here in Texas, they didn't break the Constitution, but they did break election laws by leaving voter drop-offs unattended. So realistically, all those should probably be thrown out. And then there were like 2 or 3 states that apparently they did. I think it was Pennsylvania was one of them. So maybe Rojo can speak to that. But someone up there did break their Constitution in changing the law. Is Brojo still here?
Yeah, I remember something about that. They broke something in the Pennsylvania Constitution. Forgot what it
See, everyone
was.
look into it because every time I hear something about how the election was rigged or something was broke, some law was broken, I look into it. It's always hasn't been. So I just stopped checking. At that point, it's just not worth my time. And then when they had the trials, and like that was like the death knell for me. They had the trials and were begged by the judge to submit evidence, and then they didn't submit evidence.
I found 2 links. I'm reading through them. First one is from New York Times, and it was January of 2022. It says Pennsylvania court says state's mail voting law is unconstitutional, and that it was immediately appealed. The law known as Act 77. I'm not sure if this is covering it though, because I put in 2020, but I'm getting results for 2022.
Well, I mean, it might have been in place in 2020, and then the court case was in 2022.
Yeah, it is, because the CNN says the law was was enacted in late 2019 with strong bipartisan support. But in September, more than a dozen Republicans in the state house, most of whom voted for the law, filed suit asserting that the changes made to absentee voting were unconstitutional and should have been pursued through a constitutional amendment. So the lawmakers that enacted Act 77 admit that it was unconstitutional in the way that they passed it. And a 3-2 ruling by the Pennsylvania Commonwealth Court agreed with that reasoning on Friday. Apparently, the Article 7, Section 1 requirement for
Good
in-person...
night, Sammy's in the back. Sorry. Midnight.
He may have stepped away. He said he was going to. But yeah, it seems that even CNN agrees that the law was unconstitutional.
I'm trying to find. You said Article 7.
Act 77. And then, the Pennsylvania Constitution, Article 7, Section 1, requirement for in-person voting. Yeah, Midnight stepped away, but his phone is plugged in so we can keep talking on air. So as soon as we hear him again, we'll let him know you're in the back.
You said Article 7, Section 1?
That's what the CNN article says, yes. And apparently they're quoting Judge Mary Hannah Levitt.
Yeah, I mean the New York
Okay.
Times.
Because I'm looking at Article 7, Section 1, and it's about electors, not
Does it say anything about in-person voting?
It's Act 77.
Right, but it's Article 7, Section 1 of the Pennsylvania Constitution, and it's this judge that is being quoted by CNN as having referenced that. It says that it's. Go ahead.
I'm looking through here. I mean, let's see. It's all electors, section 1, but like section 14.
And how do they define what an elector is? Because they may say each citizen is an elector, or they may say one elector represents 20,000 people. So we have to know what their definition is. Because, like, there's 8 different definitions of a child in the Texas Penal Code.
So that's the thing. It says every citizen 21 years of age.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not voters, because I know people age 18 can vote in Pennsylvania.
Maybe there's been a reworking of the language. I'm reading it right now also. Yeah, General Election Day. Possessing the following qualifications, should be entitled to vote in all elections, subject, however, to laws requiring and regulating the registration of electors that the General Assembly may enact. Have to be a U.S. citizen for at least 1 month. Must reside in the state for 90 days immediately preceding the election. Must reside in the election district for at least 60 days immediately preceding, except that if qualified to vote in election district prior to removal of residence, he or she may, if a resident of Pennsylvania, vote in the election district from which he or she removed his or her residence within 60 days. Okay, well, that's the entire section 1.
So I'm wondering, like,
I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm
how they
reading Act 77 is about electors, not voters.
Yeah, but that is what they're calling electors is voters. It's saying every person, every citizen 21 years of age is an elector under their state law. And you can say define it some other way, but like I said, in Texas, there are 8 different definitions for child under our penal code. So which of the 8 are we going to force on all the law? Are we going to make 17-year-olds sit in booster chairs in a car?
Yeah, but if this is like what their constitution is saying is people qualified to vote, that means their constitution's unconstitutional.
I have a feeling that they've probably written some other law amending from 21 to 18, but that's not actually in the Constitution. So maybe there's been an amendment to it. I don't know. Is there like a federal law saying everyone above the age of 18 has to be allowed to vote? And each state often does make their own voting requirements, because like in some states you can vote if you're an illegal alien, and in others you can't. I think in California you can vote if you're there illegally, but in Texas you can vote if you are a legal alien. Even a legal non-resident alien, you can vote, because my wife did.
Yeah. Okay, 26th Amendment, U.S. Constitution. The right of citizens of the United States who are 18 years of age or older to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the
Is that
United
only
States or hereby any state on account of age.
26th Amendment? You said.
Yeah.
Sorry it took so long, Sammy.
No problem, mate. I'm trying to get my head around how the hell you have a law that lets illegal aliens vote.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. After reading Amendment 26, Section 1, I think that only refers to federal elections. It doesn't, so that you wouldn't necessarily force a state to say 18-year-olds can vote in local elections.
well, it doesn't. Since it doesn't say only in federal elections, this is announcing a right that that the federal government and/or state cannot abridge.
Okay. Let's say that I'm white or Hispanic. Can anyone deny me the right to vote for the next Black Chamber of Congress president, Chamber of Commerce? Because state elections very often are, and I realize I'm going to use some weird terms here, but they're often considered private elections, even though they are government for governmental office.
But if they're for governmental office,
Uh-huh.
but this isn't. This doesn't. I mean, the 26
Okay,
doesn't
like party primaries.
the race.
Right, but like party primaries would be considered private because they're run by the
Yeah.
party.
Yeah, because they're not part of the government. They're not even a part of the
Correct.
election process.
Well, they're part of the election process, but
No.
and it does
The
ultimately.
pre-election
Sure.
process.
Well, okay. If the
How
Democrat,
does someone of lesser intelligence navigate this bullshit?
they can't. You have to depend on lawyers,
Is
constitutional
that
lawyers.
by design?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, at least to a certain extent. I think most people can wrap their heads around Constitution above all law. Like some basics like that.
Yeah, but then you have so many people don't understand what the Constitution says. So
Yeah, I mean, there's that. Like people complain. Like people don't understand how sentences are constructed, so they look at the Second Amendment and go, "That's about a militia."
Hmm.
Both not understanding that there's a comma there. And before the comma, the militia clause is just saying it's necessary to have a militia,
Hmm.
not that the militia has the right. But a second from that, they don't understand that regulated means trained, not so much as in there are laws limiting it.
yeah,
It means being trained. Secondly, in the United States, basically all able-bodied men are part
Okay,
of the federal militia.
in the Wikipedia article on paragraph 4, it says that the Supreme subsequently held in the case of Oregon versus Mitchell that Congress could not lower the voting age for state and local elections. So apparently, the SCOTUS has ruled the 26th Amendment does not apply to state and local elections. It is only at the federal level.
But he ruled that the federal government can't lower the age.
For state and local elections, correct.
Yeah.
So the 26th Amendment applies
No.
only to federal elections.
No. Because the 26th Amendment isn't the federal government. They're talking about the federal government passing a law forcing a state to change their law. And I would agree, that's not how that works. States don't have to
Okay.
enforce any federal law.
Okay.
So from what I can tell, It honestly doesn't matter if Act 77 violated Article 7 of the Constitution, because it doesn't really have to do with whether votes were counted appropriately or not. And as long as if the votes were counted the same as, put it this way, if the electoral votes went the same way as the actual votes happened, I care very little at that point.
Well, that judge that ruled on the case said that there was an in-person voting requirement in that section, and I don't read it, so I don't know what she's referring to. There must be some other act that's occurred that alters that section somehow.
Yeah, I don't see it either, because section 14 has the rules for absentee voting. So I'm imagining if we dig into that case, we're going to find, well, maybe there was something unconstitutional, but it probably didn't have much to do with the election that was going on.
When you look up acts and stuff, does it not mention that it has been affected by a newer act?
Depends on where you look it up at, but oftentimes no.
Okay.
Generally, if you look up the law or the Constitution on like the state website or a federal government's website, it will have the changes put into the text. Right? You won't have to go look stuff up. It will give you the current code about how it's written and what it means. And then it will list maybe at the bottom the original law and then all the changes to the original law, but the text that they give you is how it stands currently.
Okay, in section 14, subset A, it defines absentee voters as people who would be absent from that county and therefore not able to vote on election day. And so they are able to do other types of voting, like early voting or mail-in, presumably. It's only if they're unable to attend their proper polling place because of illness or physical disability, or who will not attend a polling place because of the observance of a religious holiday, or cannot vote because of election day duties, such as in the case of a county employee, they may return, and for the return and canvass of their votes in the election district in which they respectively reside. So yeah, that's what they mean by absentee voting.
Yeah, so I'm going to guess that the news article probably misquoted something, and they meant section 14, and then maybe electors absentee voted because of COVID, even though they could still technically show up.
Correct. That's my understanding also.
Okay. Right, but then I don't see how that
intentionally or unintentionally though was the
this would be
newspaper
intentionally.
mistaken.
This would be intentionally. If you stayed home because you didn't want to take a chance getting COVID.
No. I meant the newspaper. Do you think that them?
It was probably.
It could be a typo. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be a typo. I usually don't allow newspapers to claim unintentional.
Yeah.
The whole point is that they're supposed to be educated in what they're talking about, and have an editor and have people checking it.
Exactly.
So I don't take incompetence as an excuse. But yeah, technically, it's probably incompetence. They just didn't check it, or send it to someone else to check it.
Yes, RG. I don't know who that is, but it was whether or not the Act 77 in Pennsylvania violated the Pennsylvania Constitution, and specifically Article 7 of their Constitution. And it seems that they did. Both the courts and even the people who passed the law both agree that it was unconstitutional the way that they passed the law.
But they did it anyway. What?
Yeah, I know it's stupid, but that's the way our laws work. You can pass illegal laws, and people do it. I mean, Congress does it all the time. They pass an illegal law knowing that the Supreme Court, basically has to do their dirty work for them. Like with Obamacare, Obama knew it was illegal. He knew it was unconstitutional. He pushed it through anyway. And if he would have gotten away with it, then good for him. But luckily, he didn't get away with it, at least not completely. But he did for a while.
Yeah, and the thing a lot of people don't know, it being found unconstitutional doesn't actually remove the laws from the books. It
Right.
just
Their
makes
enforcement.
it gets rid of their enforcement. So if the decision's ever overturned somewhere, the law's automatically back in play. They don't have to vote it back in again.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you have to keep overturning it.
You don't have to keep on doing it, but
As in, like, if someone else is affected by that law, they have to go to the Supreme Court again, or as well.
probably not. If it was already found unconstitutional, you would just file a lawsuit against the state,
Okay.
and just about any lower court will find in your favor if it was unconstitutional before. You won't have to go to the Supreme Court for that.
Yeah, they're supposed to, but as we found out like a couple months ago, there are a lot of judges that don't care what the laws are, and they don't care what the Supreme Court rules. They just rule however they want, and then they get overturned by the appellate court.
Yeah, that Bruin decision, it's going down real hard for some of those judges.
Mm-hmm.
Such a waste of time and money, and resources.
Well, that was kind of the point of why the system was set up the way it was. It's both hard to uncorrupt, but it's also really hard to corrupt. And there's the power spread out so much, and there's so many ways to balance and check things that it's just.
And Sammy, I now see that you're Argy Bargy. I didn't know who that was typing.
Yeah, I know. It upsets me that they violated their constitution. But as far as the election is concerned, if the electors voted the way they were supposed to vote.
You say the way they're supposed to vote, but again, elector is each person 21 years or older who meets those residential requirements.
Yeah, but when I say that, I mean.
Yeah, but if there is a ton,
that's qualifications for electors.
Okay,
that's not
but
what an elector is.
Okay, but the underlying argument is if I can print out 100,000 ballots and rubber stamp them the way that I want, and then illegally stuff them in ballot drop-off boxes, then those votes are all illegal. So it doesn't matter how the electors vote if they were basing it on illegal votes.
Yeah, and that's not what this case was about.
No, but that was what the allegation is, that by violating the law, this was allowed, and that's why they shouldn't be allowed to violate their own constitution.
Oh, you're sure? I mean, that's why the law should be overturned. But if your electors is going to cast their votes in accordance with how the actual votes went, then I don't know, maybe slap them on the wrist for following the law but not following the Constitution.
Right, but the way that we got down this trail was by saying that I said that the VP could have delayed certification of the votes. He couldn't have changed what their vote was, but he could have delayed certification.
I don't think. Forgetting the exact process. I don't know if he certifies the state electors.
I don't know either. But I think
I think he just certifies the count at the end.
I don't know.
But even then, like what, like I'm not sure what you would expect. Like, what do you think would happen? What would change?
I don't know that anything would change.
Yeah, I don't think anything would have changed other than give some people some false hope.
Maybe, sure.
And I don't know, if I was him, I wouldn't have, like, if that's what it was, like if that was the actual reason why I was being told not to certify it,
Hmm.
I would have still certified it.
Well, what has happened to his political career now that he has certified it the way that he chose to?
Oh, it's tanked, but I think it was tanked anyway.
Okay.
As soon as Trump started, that was before the election, started implying that you were incompetent or wasn't doing what you were being told or whatever. I think that was the end of it.
I didn't really pay attention to all that, so I don't know what he was saying about Pence, but yeah, it would be very foolish before an election to say, "Oh yeah, and the guy that's going to take over for me if anything happens, he's totally incompetent. You definitely shouldn't vote for him, and by extension, you shouldn't vote for me because I chose him."
And I mean, by that point, Trump had sacked everyone he'd ever hired, so it was just the norm.
Yeah. But in that way, he was very much like a FDR. FDR kept going through vice presidents and appointments because he was a lot like Stalin. He didn't want anybody to have any power absent himself.
Yeah, America very nearly went a different direction. And it wasn't entirely just because of him. Him and a fair number of senators, I don't know about members of House, but they were trying to pass that second Bill of Rights. We would have been the first country with universal health care, among other things.
Instead of like being the only developed country without it.
Yeah, and being the most powerful and the fastest growing developed country without it. Say it. Where most of the medical research comes from. It's where all the money goes. One way or another, it gets funneled down into medical research. And you could.
If we were the size of you, though, we'd probably beat you in medical research. We do some amazing stuff here, like world-leading stuff. But we're just, our population's so small. And probably, to be honest, the people doing a lot of this stuff are probably immigrants anyway.
Yeah, it's one of the things that make America great. Is we take all your smart people away
here as well. Yeah.
All your smart people go, hey, I could stay here and make just a little above minimum wage to do, like, say, for example, medical research. Or I could go to America where I could actually get paid for all my skills.
Yeah, and paid well.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right. I came in to end the stream. You guys can obviously still stay backstage and talk, but I'm gonna end this. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for stopping
No
by.
worries.
Go give a hug to mom.
I will.